Respected brothers, sisters, mothers and fathers, elders of the community, children, students, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Man lam yashkur nas, lam yashkurillah." The person who cannot thank the people cannot thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala truly. So I take a moment before inshallah we speak about family and the Islamic concept of what it means to have family day, the importance of family day, what the Prophet told us about family, and how we can thrive to raise better families, inshallah, in North America. Because we know Family Day, of course, is on Monday, I'd like to thank a number of people. First and foremost, I think I have to thank the children first. The fact that, mashallah, in the past hour and a half, I only came over 45 minutes ago, they've been rendering to us amazing presentations. Much of it I heard from inside, some of it I was here present to see it. This is amazing effort from our children, alhamdulillah, who put so much effort throughout the year, and especially in the last couple of weeks, and we saw what we saw today, alhamdulillah. May Allah bless them. I also want to thank the teachers, that alhamdulillah, they make so much effort throughout the year, and we can see the results of their efforts. What these teachers are doing for us in Sunday school, and in evening class, and in any other Islamic setting, is they're fostering an Islamic identity inside of our children, which is the most important thing that we can give to our children in today's day and age. One of the biggest crises of our time is identity. Many children, many youngsters, they struggle with identity. They don't know who they are. But alhamdulillah, through evening class, through Sunday school, and through the efforts of these teachers, alhamdulillah, we're fostering the sense of Islamic identity into our children. And we saw many of their performances live here and on video. Alhamdulillah, all of it inshallah is appreciated. Moving forward, I also want to show appreciation to the teachers as well too. Many of these teachers, they spend their Sundays, a couple of hours on their Sundays, those who spend throughout the week their evening time with these children. Alhamdulillah, I know many of them, and some of them I do not know, but I know a couple of them, and I feel that their goal is to become mentors for our kids. And today, in today's day and age, we don't need more teachers. We need more leaders and more mentors. In today's day and age, we just don't need teachers, we need mentors for our children. And alhamdulillah, the number of brothers who I know teaching in Sunday school and evening class, I know alhamdulillah, they strive their best to be a mentor for our children. I would also like to thank the parents, alhamdulillah, that you do bring your child on Sunday, and of course you make that effort to bring your child, work with your child at home, alhamdulillah. This is very, very important. Evening class and Sunday school in North America is like the jugular vein in our body. Without evening class, without Sunday school or Saturday school, that little exposure to an Islamic environment for our children, it would be very difficult for me to have hope in the future of our children. But alhamdulillah, because we have evening class, we have Sunday school, and we are able to give our children some form of Islamic education through these mentors, alhamdulillah, there is the future is bright inshallah, and we have hope for the future. I want to thank also the members who actively take part in making Masjid Jannah what it is. We know Masjid Jannah had its humble beginnings, if I can remember correctly, in a masjid at Midland and Lawrence area. And alhamdulillah, today we are in a place where we can say without doubt, if anyone knows the history of this building, I was telling them in the office, where people used to worship shaitan and nafs. And alhamdulillah, today this place has become a place where we worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Where young and old, men and women put their forehead on the ground and do sajda to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So after thanking all of these individuals who deserve to be thanked, I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us tawfiq inshallah to benefit from today's program. We know that Monday, inshallah, will be Family Day. What's the history of a Family Day? In 2008, and some provinces before us, some provinces after us, the government of Ontario realized that people in Ontario, families in Ontario, mothers and fathers in Ontario are so busy with paying bills, paying off mortgages, working hard to put food on the table, that it seems that the concept of family is almost lost within the community. After realizing this, a bill was tabled. And today we have a day in the whole year which we recognize as Family Day. It is a day in Ontario where those many of us will be off. A day where we can actually spend quality time with our family. And of course, this should not be the only day, but it reminds us that more important than many of the things we're doing in life and we're striving to achieve is our family. What's the society made up of? A society is made up of individuals, and those individuals make a family. Those families together make a society. The population of Scarborough, what is it made up of? Individuals who are in families, and then those families are in the thousands. That's what makes a community. That's what makes up the population of Scarborough, or anywhere in the world. So, respected brothers and sisters, before we go into Family Day, let's take a step back. For all of my brothers and sisters who are 30 and above, who are 45, 40 and above, 50 and above, if you can just take a step back and go back 35, 40 years, you will remember a time where every single night was family night. Am I right or am I wrong? Every single night, Papa came home, Daddy came home, sat down around the table, everyone, brothers and sisters, sat down, a cooked meal was brought in front of everyone, and everyone spent the next half an hour eating a meal together. So if we go back 35, 40 years, we will see, and especially from our home countries, whether it's Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Somalia, wherever, where our countries of origin, where we came from, if we look at those, even for those who are 30, 35, we will see that almost every night was family night. Almost every day was family day. Every day the family gathered together and had a cooked meal. Let's fast forward to 1960s and 70s, even in Canada, before even Muslims came here, the wider Canadian community. In the 60s and 70s, even then, every night was family night. Every day was family day. Because Daddy came home, Mother came home, and everyone sat around the table or around the sakhan, and they all ate a meal together. Let's come to 2019. A couple comes to me, they're having problems in their family life. What I often do is I ask people, I said, forget talking about that, just tell me what's going on. Just tell me about what's happening in your life. What's your schedule like? What's your weekly schedule, your monthly schedule? Just tell me. So the brother starts speaking to me. The brother starts off by telling me, you know, brother, my wife and I, we both work. You know, by the time I get to work, my wife is busy with the kids. And by the time I come back from work, my wife has already gone to work. And the kids are at the grandparents' house. And then I get them in the evening. And by the time my wife returns back from work, or vice versa, she's sleeping or I'm sleeping. He said, brother, you know, I see my wife only twice a week. My wife and I, we see each other twice a week. Let's go back 40 years. Let's go in front of us, 2019. In 2019, a husband and wife are seeing each other twice a week. Husband home, wife is not home. Brother is home, sister is not home. Daughter is home, son is not home. Son is home, daughter is not home. Mother is home, but father is not home. So the reality of the matter is, because of how much society has moved forward in terms of, let's be straightforward, capitalism, and everyone needs bigger cars now, and bigger homes, and we have more expenses now, and of course, the price of things have gone up, there's no doubt about that, everything's gone more expensive. So we are so busy in paying these things off, and in the process, sometimes we lose the importance of what it means to have a family. So this is why Family Day was brought. Family Day was brought so that all of the Ontarians can think about the importance of family. And one day they can remember how important is family. Respected brothers and sisters, subhanAllah, when you look at Islam and how Islam treats family, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in one of the verses of the Quran, Surah Al-Ra'd, Allah speaks about the people who recognize that the Quran is the truth and they follow it with their heart. When Allah speaks about these people, the people who really understand the message of the Quran, Allah Ta'ala calls them Ulul Albab. Ulul Albab means people of intellect, intellectuals. So how does Allah define intellectuals? Allah speaks about three qualities. We won't go into all of them. But one of the qualities is that these people, they give importance to the ties of family and kinship. So Allah gives three qualities. One of the qualities is that these people are intellectual, they're smart. They are the intellectuals of society. Who are they? Three qualities, Allah summarizes. One of them is, they give importance to family. Meaning those people who give importance to family are considered intellectuals and the smart people in the society. And those who don't give importance to it cannot be considered as people who are in the intellectual society. And cannot be considered as people who understand the true message of the Quran. So, one author, he writes about the importance of Family Day. So I'm going to read to you what he writes about. What does he say about Family Day? Why is Family Day important? And what is the importance of Family Day? He says, Family Day helps people recognize the importance of the family unit, regarded as the basic building block for the success of any society. The basic building block for the success of any society is family. A family is there to care for its children, give them financial security, teach them morals and values, provide ongoing assistance in many other forms of help. It helps people and children face the challenges of life, especially when self-esteem is low, or when anxiety is there, or when depression is there. Family support in these situations may help young people avoid resorting to illegal activity such as drugs, excessive alcohol, antisocial behavior. SubhanAllah, if I can quote to you a study. There was a study done where they studied families that ate together, spent time together, and families that did not. The families that spent time together, the chances of their children being successful in the future was almost twice as much. The families that did not spend quality time together, the chances of their children failing in their future endeavors was twice as much. Beyond that, the chances of their children being involved in gang-related activities, being involved in drug-related activities, and being involved in alcoholism was twice as much. Where do we live? We live in Scarborough. That's not high. We live in Scarborough. This is like the place where, unfortunately, these things thrive. Those parents, whether they lived in Scarborough or in the middle of a Chicago, a suburb, but if they spent quality time with their children, then they were twice as likely to be successful and not be affected by these things. But the parents who did not spend quality time with their children was twice as likely to be affected by these societal vices such as drugs, marijuana, gang-related activity, and all other forms of illegal activity. Brothers and sisters, when we look at the Quran, we see that I mentioned to you that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He described ulul albab, the people who have intellect, He said one of their three qualities. One of them was, they give importance to family. Family is always a priority in their life. The Prophet ﷺ, what did he say about family? He said, كُلُّكُمْ رَاعٍ وَكُلُّكُمْ مَسْئُولٌ عَنْ رَعِيَّتِهِ. Each and every single one of you is a shepherd, a leader, and responsible for a flock that Allah has given you. Whether it is 2 children, 3 children, 4 children, 5, whatever Allah has granted you, each one of you is a shepherd of that flock. You know, a shepherd, he usually works for the owner of the sheep. And every evening when he comes back, he must give account. I took 25 sheep, I brought 25 sheep back. I took 25 sheep from you, none of them are injured, everyone is okay. All of them have eaten. He must give an account to the owner of those sheep. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, we have given you children, but we will take accountability from you on the day of judgment. أَلَا كُلُّكُمْ رَاعٍ وَكُلُّكُمْ مَسْئُولٌ عَنْ رَعِيَّتِهِ. Each one of you is a shepherd or a leader and will be asked about their responsibility. The Prophet says, a man is responsible for his household. Then when the Prophet ﷺ came to the mother, what did he say? A mother, a woman, is a shepherd for the children of her home. It's ajib. When the Prophet ﷺ spoke about fathers, he didn't mention children. When he spoke about mothers, he mentioned children. Mothers and fathers are both the first school of a child, but the mother is the most important school of a child. You know, they say behind every successful person, there is a mother. Not a woman, a mother is behind that. Look at Islamic history. Imam Shafi rahmatullahi alayhi, it's mentioned about his mother, that his mother never breastfed him except in the state of wudu. That's why Imam Shafi'i is Imam Shafi'i. To this day, we say rahmatullahi alayhi, till Qiyamah, people will follow his school of thought. Imam Shafi'i rahmatullahi alayhi, it is mentioned, his mother never breastfed him except with wudu. Let's take Imam Ghazali rahmatullahi alayhi. Imam Ghazali lived not more than, less than 45 years probably in his life, maximum 45 years. Imam Ghazali rahmatullahi alayhi wrote so many books in his lifetime that the human mind cannot comprehend. Today, with all the technology we have, you put the brain of Imam Ghazali in a person's head, even he cannot take that many papers. That's how many works he did. Imam Ghazali rahmatullahi alayhi relates one story to show us how great the tarbiyah of his mother was to him. He says that every day, me and my brother, we would go to school. When we would come back, my mother would have prepared the meal for us and would keep it basically on a dinner table or in a pantry for us. And when we would come home, my mother would say, go and pray 2 rakat, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for your meal. And when we would pray 2 rakat, we were young kids, we would pray 2 rakat salat. Then then my mother would say, now go open the pantry and eat the food. Imam Ghazali says that later on he learned that one day his mother was late from work. She used to serve and she used to work in the community, and she was late coming back from work. So she panicked. She said, Ya Allah, today, if my children go home today and they open that pantry and that food is not there, they're going to lose their yaqeen. That Allah is the one Razzaq, Allah provides. They're going to lose their yaqeen. So she made sajda, she prayed to Allah, Ya Allah, don't let my children lose their yaqeen. Imam Ghazali says, we came home like scheduled, we prayed 2 rakat of our salat, we asked Allah for food, we opened the pantry, the food was there, and we ate. When my mother came home, my mother asked, did you eat? He said, no, alhamdulillah, yes, we ate. My mother said, how did you eat? I said, no, same place, we prayed 2 rakat salat, we went to the pantry and the food was sitting there. These are the mothers that raised the likes of Imam Shafi'i, Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani, and the likes of Imam Ghazali. These are the mothers behind. Hasan Basri. You look at all these great people. The mother is the person behind these great forces. And many of our own stories, if you look at it, our success is the du'as of our parents, and especially the du'a of our mother. The du'a of our mother. So, a family, of course, in our understanding, made up of a mother and a father and children. Now the question arises, we can talk about the virtues of family and the importance of family. How do we raise healthy families? In this small talk, this time I have before me, I cannot expand on this in detail. This would need a workshop, 2-day, 1-day workshop, the importance of family. How do we raise families in the 19th century? Why? Sorry, 21st century. Why? Because Ali radiallahu anhu told his students, tabi'in, رَبُّوا أَوْلَادَكُمْ غَيْرَ مَا رُبِّيتُمْ فَإِنَّهُمْ فِي زَمَانٍ غَيْرَ زَمَانِكُمْ. Whenever I read this, it's so profound. Imam Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu, 1400 years ago, told his students, raise your children different to how you were raised. Not in 21st century. 1400 years ago, maybe 60 years after Prophet's demise, he tells his students, raise your children, رَبُّوا أَوْلَادَكُمْ غَيْرَ مَا رُبِّيتُمْ. Raise your children different than how you were raised. فَإِنَّهُمْ فِي زَمَانٍ غَيْرَ زَمَانِكُمْ. Because they live in an era that is different from your era. I mean, what was different at that time? The camels were healthier, the horse was healthier, there were more horses, more camels. Imagine 21st century. We're talking about 2019. We're talking about as the years, before, change used to happen every century. Then changes happen half a century. Then changes happen every decade. Now there's changes every single year. So, raising children in today's context, in today's world, subhanAllah, I'm 31 years old. And I know to being 31, that if I use the same methods that my father used to raise me, alhamdulillah, and he did an amazing job, and my mother did an amazing job, I know it will not work. And I'm only 30 years old. Right? So society changes, the way we raise our children needs to change as well too. We have to adapt to the new times. Our usul, our principles stay the same. Our furu' and our approach is what's going to change. So I just summarized it in 3 ABCs. A, if we want to raise healthy families and we want to raise our children with a sense of Muslim identity, 3 things have to happen. A, B, and C. A, I need to make deen a priority in my life. If deen is a priority in my life, deen will be a priority in my child's life. This is guaranteed. Monkey see, monkey do is not just a joke, it's a reality. Children look at their parents and judge, this is a priority for my father and mother, and that's what they strive to do. Even psychologically, you are the hero of your child until they're about 10, 11. You are their hero. Meaning whatever you give importance to, your child will strive to make that happen. Because you are their hero and they just want to impress you and no one else. Until they're 11 and 12, subhanAllah. So number 1, deen has to be a priority in your life, and then it will be a priority in your child's life, number 1. Number 2, B, I need to take practical steps to ensure that I raise my children as healthy, good Muslim citizens of Canada. I have to take practical steps. It's not only enough to make dua, there must be an action plan. There must be a way. I got to take practical steps. We will explore just some of them, inshallah, in the following minutes. Number 3, I need to be actively involved in their Islamic education and secular education, both. I have to be actively involved in their secular education and in their Islamic education. Whether they're in public school, whether they're in middle school, whether they're in high school. I have to be actively involved in their secular education and their Islamic education. Let's cover the first one. Respected brothers and sisters, the reality of the matter is, a child when he is born, and by the time the child is 1.5 and he realizes who my mother and my father is, they are trying to impress mother and father. That's the child's goal at that age. The golden ages are from 1.5 to 12, 11. You are their hero, and there is no one but you. You are the coolest dad to them. You are the coolest mother to them. What you do, what you give importance to, your child gives importance to. And this is why I always say, if my relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is restricted to Jum'ah, then respected brothers and sisters, your child knows how important Salat and Masjid is in your eyes. If the only time I come to the masjid is to drop my kid to Sunday school, I'm sorry to make it a little sour, but this is the reality. If the only relationship I have with the masjid is on Sunday when I drop my child on Sunday school, then I pick him up on Sunday school, then your child knows how important the masjid is in your eyes. Your child, you don't need to tell your child, oh child, masjid is so important. That's such an amazing place. Your child doesn't need to hear from you. He can see from your actions how important masjid is to you. Respected brothers and sisters, when we make deen a priority, our children make it a priority. Remember the saying of the Prophet, and this always scares me, and it gives me hope as well sometimes. The best of era is my era. The least of challenges will be faced by my era. And more and grave challenges will be faced by the era that comes after me. And every era that comes afterwards will see bigger problems and bigger challenges. If you think about it, and I often tell parents, do you know, if 30 years ago or 20 years ago you didn't go to the masjid too much, you better start going to the masjid now. Because every era that comes after this era will have bigger challenges and will push us and will make us need to go to the masjid even more. Make us be even more conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Make us be more aware of the importance of our deen. This is my famous quote I always say. If I'm a Jummah Khan Muslim, my child's going to be Eid Khan. If I'm Eid Khan, my child's going to be, this is a sad one, Janazah Khan. This is a fact. There is no denying this. Because this is how societies function. 30 years ago, even though our elders were sitting here, 30 years ago, how strict were you in your culture? Just take a glance back. 35 years ago, how strict were you? From in your Sri Lankan culture, Pakistani culture, Afghani culture, and your Somalian culture, and Middle Eastern, how strict were you? Everything had to be like it was back home. Let's go forward, just 35 years. How strict are you now? You know, the things that your young child is doing now, your older child, if he even did 1/4 of that, oh my God, he'd be hanging upside down. Now your youngest grandson is breaking all the rules of culture. This is how human beings operate. So this is why, when I say this, that if I am a Jummah Khan Muslim, my child will be Eid Khan Muslim. If I come once a week, sometimes people ask me, Mana, when is Jummah? 1:30. Mana, when is Khutbah? 1:55. Okay, inshallah. 1:54. Sit down, Khutbah Arabic, Alhamdulillah, done, out. If I can only give 15 minutes to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you think my child's going to give an hour to Allah every single day? It's common sense. This is just, math doesn't lie. It's common sense. I am giving 15 minutes on Friday. That's all I can give. I understand, trust me brothers, I also work outside of the masjid sphere. So I understand how the workforce work, and I understand 8-hour shifts, and I understand lunch break is social. I understand all of that. But weekend is there, Monday is there, Monday night is there, Tuesday night is there, Wednesday night is there, Thursday night is there, Friday night is there. Am I off on Fridays? Am I off in the morning? Am I off in the evening? Am I off on the weekends? So do I have to restrict my relationship with the masjid only to Jummah? So if I'm Jummah Khan, my child will automatically be Eid Khan. My child will come one Eid to another Eid. And then if I am Janazah Khan, so if I'm Eid Khan and I only come to the masjid on Eid, then my child will be Janazah Khan. And what's even more sad, my child will be that Janazah Khan who will stand in the back of the masjid and watch my Janazah happen. We are Imams, we are exposed to Janazahs almost every single day, if not a number of times a week. We see Janazahs where unfortunately, maybe the father was an Eid Khan, so the son, daughter is a Janazah Khan. The son will stand in the back and just stand there and watch the Janazah happen, and will not be even able to pray the Janazah of their own father. Respected brothers and sisters, remember, it all starts when our children are young. That's why I'm so happy to see this Sunday performance, this effort from these children coming and the performance they made. I'm so happy to see this, mashallah, because this is how we're fostering the Islamic identity. But we as parents, I want to address the kids here, I want to address the parents, because I have you once, mashallah, Salim Bhai has been trying to get me here for 2 years. So I have you after 2 years. Once I get you, I'm going to have to give this message to you. I have to. And this is the message I give everywhere I go. You parents, I need to make Deen a priority. And my child will automatically make Deen a priority. Even if my child will not make it a high priority like me, but my child will know Deen is important to my father and mother. And at least until the age of 11 and 12, they will do anything. They will push you. Dad, let's go for Maghrib. Dad, let's go for Isha. Dad, it's Jummah time. Come on, I want to see my friends. Alhamdulillah, come, let's go. They will be pushing you, because if it's important for you, it's important for them. Simple. Let's move forward, inshallah. B, I need to take practical steps to ensure that I raise healthy and good Muslim children who will be productive Muslims in our society and productive citizens of our society. Respected brothers and sisters, I wish that dreams came true by just making dua, and dreams came true by just wishing and hoping. I love the word in Arabic. The word in Arabic for wishing is tamanna. Tamanna basically in Arabic means impossible wish. Tamanna in Arabic, it means impossible wish. And later as well too. Sorry, tamanna, later, the word later. That's why when on the day of judgment, when Allah passes judgment on animals, and the animals become dust, the non-believers or the sinners, may Allah protect us, may Allah make us among the people of the right, with the books inshallah on the right hand, they will say, Ya laytani kuntu turaba. Ya layta, how I wish, the impossible wish, how I wish I can also become dust. But they cannot, it's an impossible wish. Ya layta, how I wish I can come back to the dunya, but you can't come back to the dunya. So, wishing is not enough. What are some many practical steps we can take? Number one, talk to your child. Have meaningful conversation with your children. When you pick your child from work, turn off 680 News. Turn off CR Fabita 10. Turn off the nasheed Have a conversation with your child. What happened in school today? Now, there is a way to talk to children. If you go online, how to make your child talk to you, or how to have a conversation with your child, it will teach you what questions to ask so your child will speak to you and will respond back. It's not enough to say, how was your day today? It was good. No, that's not enough. So there's a way to ask a question, then now your child is going to tell you what happened in school today. What are the 3 things you liked about school today? What are the 3 things you learned today? What are the 3 things you did not like today? You know, who did you have lunch with today? Questions to make your child speak. Have meaningful conversation. Brothers and sisters, remember, from 0 to 12, you're their hero. 0 to 12, you're their hero. So, they want to talk to you. But the problem is, when they want to talk to us, we're too busy paying off bricks, and we're too busy making lots and lots of money. When the time comes and we want to talk to them, they don't want to talk to us anymore. So we need to talk to them when they're young and build that kind of a relationship with our children. So have meaningful conversation. Listen to your child sincerely. When your child comes to you and he feels something is important, don't be like, okay. Oh, really? Oh, that's amazing. Dad, I just told you I fell down and broke, like I scraped my knee. Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you. No. Have meaning for when your child is speaking to you. Put the phone away. Put that WhatsApp message away. That bloody WhatsApp group, put it away. Put it off. Turn to your child. Show your child you are important. Don't speak to your child like this. Turn to your child. Look at your child. Hear your child. See what they have to say. If they tell you something, they did bad, there's no need to right away go into judgment. Let them explain themselves. So, again, we have to have meaningful conversation, and we have to listen to our children sincerely. And not be like, Dad's busy right here, Mom's in the kitchen, so you might as well go to Mom. Mom's, of course, not busy. She's only cooking food. She's not busy. Go to Mom, basically, and talk to Mom. No. When child comes to us, we put this away and we give time to our children, inshallah. It's very important. I know we do it, but there's a way to do it. And everything's online. We can easily learn how do I show my child. It's Google. You just type in, everything will come up. How do I show my child that he is the most important person in my life? They will tell you how to do that. And that's very important. This is an important point. Have family outings to parks. Have family dinners, in-house, out-house if you want to. But when you have dinner, start with yourself first. Take that phone, leave it in the living room. Sister, take that phone, leave it in the living room. And all of your children need to leave their phone in the living room. When you sit down to eat, there should be no interference of any gadgets. Don't even put your phone on airplane mode. Because even then you're going to keep looking at it. Don't put on airplane mode. Just leave it in the living room. I told you the stats. The families that eat together on a regular basis, their children are twice as likely to be successful. Families that do not eat together on a regular basis, their children are twice as likely to fall into failure. And family dinner time is not a time where you look at a WhatsApp clip or you look at your email. It's a time where it's just you, your wife, you, your husband, and the children. This is family time. So that's why, brothers and sisters, when it comes to dinner time, if you cannot have dinner night every single day, there must be at least 3-4 nights in the week. Because again, I understand, many of us have many expenses, and I understand that. So we must have 3-4 nights where we have dinner together as a family. All technology is out of the way, and it's just conversation within the family. Wallahi, it kills me. I go to a restaurant sometimes, and I'm in the restaurant, and I see a family of like 7 people. Mom's on the phone, dad's on the phone, brother's on the phone, sister's on the phone, and the poor bichara, 3-4 years old, who does not have a phone, he's looking at everyone's faces. And I go, okay, what am I doing here? What's going on here? Brothers and sisters, Family Day reminds us of the important family. And there is, subhanAllah, there is no, I think, deen that gives more importance to family than Islam. We know, the Prophet ﷺ said, the one who breaks the ties of family, Allah breaks ties with him. How much more harsh can you get? Right? We know the Prophet ﷺ, in many places in the Quran, Allah Ta'ala speaks about family ties, the importance of family. Remember, we live in a capitalistic society, we live in an individualistic society. So you have to make an effort. When you came from your home country, you didn't need to make an effort to bring family together. Family was already together. Because I told you, every night was family night for you almost. Almost every night was family night. But in this society, and in 2019, anywhere in the West, or even in the East now, you need to make an effort to bring family together. So I share the stat with you, may Allah give us tawfiq to understand that just through something as simple as having family dinners on a regular basis, inshallah, our children will become healthier citizens and healthier people, inshallah, in the future, and be contributing to society. When we discipline respectfully. It's easy for us to give punishments to our children. We need to move away from punishments. Remember what Ali radiallahu anhu said, رَبُّ أَوْلَادَكُمْ غَيْرَ مَا رُبِّيتُمْ فَإِنَّهُمْ فِي زَمَانٍ غَيْرَ زَمَانِكُمْ. Treat your children, raise your children different than how you were raised. Because they live in a time that is different to your time. Consequences. Once again, Google. Just go online. Consequence versus punishment. How can I give a consequence to my child that will work? Consequence works better than punishment. Punishment is just fear. Consequence is nurturing your child to take responsibility. Once again, punishment is just instilling fear in the child. Consequence is instilling in the child the ability to take responsibility for their actions. That's the difference between consequence and punishment. So learn to give consequences to our children as opposed to punishment. Another important point, shall we finish on in a couple of minutes? Create an Islamic environment at home. You came late from work, you missed Isha in the masjid. Now you're going to pray Isha at home. Don't pray Isha alone. Bring your wife together, bring your children together. If your daughter is really, really young, say, make the adhan, go do the adhan. If you have a son, go do the adhan. Let your son do the adhan, teach him the adhan. Let him do the adhan loudly. Then you lead your family in prayer. We have to create somewhat of an Islamic environment. We have Jadu box, Hadu box, Dadu box, Sri Lankan box, Pakistani box, Afghani box. We have all these satellite boxes in our homes. In the midst of all of that, let us make an effort to create an Islam. And it's not hard. Alhamdulillah, our deen is a deen where you don't need to be an imam and have a turban to lead prayer. Anyone can lead prayer. So you as the father, as the husband, can lead prayer home as well too. So if you miss Isha in the masjid, you miss Maghrib in the masjid and you're at home or you couldn't make it to the masjid, once in a while, every couple of days, bring the whole family together and lead your family in salat. Wallahi, the effect of that, you can only realize after you do this. Because once again, you are showing to a young child how important salat is. Lead your family in prayer. Your wife is behind you, children are behind you, the adhan is being done, and then after salat, everyone sits down to the dhikr. For example, on Thursday night, half an hour of Thursday night, one of the most important nights for Muslims, is the night of salawat, it's the night of dhikr, Thursday night. On Thursday night for half an hour after Maghrib, after Salat al-Isha, is a time where, once again, all of the phones go into the kitchen, or into the living room, or into the bedroom. Everyone comes and sits down, open the Quran, read for 15-20 minutes. We teach our children, here's a tasbih, do 100 durood. This is how you create an Islamic identity into your children. This is the way to do that, creating an Islamic identity. So half an hour, again, with